Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Robin. Robin from Massachusetts in the USA. So let's see what Robin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Robin. Yes, I can hear you now. How are you,
Okay,
Robin?
great. Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time, early morning or day off to do this interview with me. Thank you.
Of course.
Right, Robin, just before we start the game, tell me where you're from.
I'm from Hingham, Massachusetts.
Where?
I'm from Massachusetts in the US.
Right, and which city?
New Bedford.
Right, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a shift manager at a cafe.
Right, and what do you like the most about your job, in your opinion?
I really like to interact with people. Yeah, I just like seeing people from all different walks of life coming in to do one thing that, at least here, we all love, which is drink coffee.
That's for sure, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
what's your favorite coffee?
For me, I just like to drink black dark roast coffee. I like something not too acidic, and I like strong flavors, so.
Very good. And tell me, what do you like the most about your city?
I like how diverse it is. I grew up in a place where everyone was white and everybody was Christian, and I live in a city where all kinds of different people come together. You can hear all kinds of different languages, and that's what I love about my city. Also, beautiful architecture and a long history.
I like your background.
Thank you.
Is that a real thing, or are you using like a virtual background?
Oh, yeah, no, this is real. It's here.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, it's beautiful, I like it, really nice. Right, so just before we start our game, William the Magic Box, I was checking your profile and I saw a phrase that got my attention. It
Yeah.
says, navigating a long distance relationship in the age of COVID. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about it.
So I have a boyfriend who lives in Asia. I met him online a while ago and I went to visit him. But then as soon as COVID struck, I couldn't go and visit him after that. You know, there's a big gap there. I was supposed to visit him 2 times since then. So I'm just trying to, you know, I found that it helps to talk about it and to post about it on Instagram. So it just kind of makes me feel better to do that. So that's kind of the story.
Very good. When I saw it, I guessed that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just double check in this. That's what I understood. Okay, Robin, so welcome to William and the Magic Box. I've got here my lovely box full of random fun questions, okay? So I'm just gonna play some music now just for us to get in the mood a little bit before the first question. Ready?
Great.
Let's do it. Okay, Robin, let's get the first question for you. Who is your biggest idol and what have you learned with this person?
My biggest idol is actually my mentor in life, my Buddhist teacher, Daisaku Ikeda. What I've learned is that no matter how hard things get, you haven't failed unless you completely stop trying. The moment you stop trying, you fail. But if you decide to pick yourself up and keep on going, yeah, there's still hope.
Very good. And how long have you been Buddhist for?
About 2013, so 8 years.
And since then, how is being the beautiful journey in being a Buddhist, in your opinion? What's the most beautiful thing about being a Buddhist, in your opinion?
Well, the most beautiful thing is to value life. Life is short. We don't really know much about it, and to appreciate every moment of your life. Life is the biggest gift there is. And so I think every moment is beautiful, whether it's painful or it actually meets the definition of what we consider beautiful.
And I think both the downside, the upside, both of them we should be grateful, because both of them, this part, it's a gift, because it built us the way we are. So we should be grateful for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't have to happen.
Absolutely. It would be boring. Imagine if everything would be just flowers, skies. I think we don't learn anything, and it would be boring. So yeah.
Yeah.
Next question for you. Let's do it, Robbie. I can see you like dancing. Good.
Not very good at it though.
Next question for you is, what's the biggest difference between you and your best friends?
The biggest difference between me and my best friend is I'm a little more quiet. My best friends tend to be more outgoing. They're able to just strike up a conversation with people very easily. And for me, you know, while that's something that's kind of changed over my life, I'm still more of an introverted person. Yeah, so I guess that would be it.
Great. And your best friend is around the same city as you, or is another part of the state?
They're in a different part of the state right now. Yeah, actually, he's doing a yoga teacher certification somewhere. So, yeah.
Oh, amazing, beautiful. Next question for you. Let's do it. Okay, Robin, just before the next question, tell me a little bit about your long distance relationship. So it's which part of Asia is your partner?
In China.
Oh, wow. And you've met him just twice when you were there.
That's correct. Yes.
And what's the hardest parts of being that long distance relationship?
The hardest part is just wanting to be next to someone, to spend time with someone. You know, not being able to reach out and touch their arm, or you know, do basic things like having breakfast together, having meals together. I think the one thing actually that my boyfriend said that was probably the most that made it the most succinct for me was, we spent a lot of time walking when I visited him, and you always had the feeling that the other person was walking with you. You didn't really have to look and see it. And I had left, and he was walking somewhere, and he texted me and he said, "Oh, I can see that I had the feeling that you were walking with me, but when I turned to look, you weren't there." And for me, that you know, I don't know. That's probably the hardest thing, is just missing somebody's presence.
Very beautiful. Next question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Most uncomfortable about myself?
Yeah.
Actually, I struggle with anxiety. And it's just kind of this really tight feeling in my chest that I get. That's how my anxiety manifests. So whenever I have problems with anxiety, I just feel that feeling. And it's very intensely uncomfortable, and it's really frustrating actually, because I'm confident in my ability to talk about things and to do things, but when I feel anxious, there's a physical and mental feeling that I can't do it, and it's actually really frustrating. So that's what makes me the most uncomfortable about myself.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes when you have those moments, you just kind of, you don't even feel yourself. You feel like a different person because you cannot kind of control it. You cannot express yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand. Next question for you, Robin. Let's do it. Next question, let's do it. What is your most embarrassing moment?
Let's see. The most embarrassing moment that happened to me recently is I was making drinks a couple of years ago on the espresso bar at work, and it gets very fast-paced and busy, so you have to move very quickly. So I was moving from one place to another, and the floor can get wet sometimes. And I was walking very quickly to another part of the espresso bar, and I tripped and fell on my butt. and just wiped out in front of everyone. And like a lot of people had that, you know, that face that people make where they're like, they're worried about you, but at the same time, they can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that. It was a lot of that face. And that was really embarrassing. I was okay, but I turned red and I had to leave because everybody was staring and laughing. And I was laughing too, actually, but it just kind of was an uncomfortable situation. Very embarrassing.
For sure. And it was painful?
Wasn't as painful. Yeah. It wasn't as painful as you would think, just because I, for some reason, know how to fall. So, right. Yeah, my reflexes are pretty good for that. But it was definitely painful for my ego. Yeah.
That was about to say, when that kind of thing happened to us, actually, we are more kind of conscious to about the embarrassing moment than the pain itself. We are kind of just gonna get up, just wanna get ourselves like away from there, and we don't even feel any pain. I understand what you mean, totally. I've been in that moment as well. Right, Robbie, have you enjoyed the show so far?
Yeah, absolutely, having a great time.
Very good. Another question, let's do it. Right. Before the next question, tell me how did Buddhism came into your life?
Actually, through an ex. I had been well, even before that, I guess. I was interested in Eastern philosophy and Eastern religion, but then you know, I went through a stressful period in my life, and I learned how to meditate, and that really helped me. But then I met someone, and he was a Buddhist, and he taught me about Buddhism, and I became a member of a Buddhist organization. And that really kind of shifted my life a lot. And so, you know, through my own interaction with the organization too. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, we're together, so I'm going to become your religion so that someday we can get married. It was more like I was interested in it, and I wanted to make a kind of a change in my life. So, yeah.
I understand. It's you made me remember a story now. I'm from Brazil, and I've been raised in a Catholic in Christianism. Yeah, being a Christian. But so I've been living in England for the last, let's say, for 15 years. And I had an English partner a few years ago, and we were living together. And so I didn't know anything about Buddhism. I didn't know anything about it. And he's a very spiritual person as well. And we were living together for a while. And one day he came up to me, he said, William, since I've known you, and I can see the way you see life, your point of views, the way your beliefs, everything it's about Buddhism. Everything's about that. He knew about it. I was like, oh my God, that's interesting. I didn't know anything about it. And he said to me, everything that you believe, every conversation we have about being spiritual, everything is about Buddhism. And I think you should kind of explore more. And it's funny saying that because I never explored, but I understand more about it now, and it makes all sense. All the beliefs and everything, I'm more connected with the Buddhism, that's for sure. It's a very interesting journey. Yeah.
Next, find out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Next question for you is, if you could have been in a event in history, which one would be and why?
I guess it would be the fall of the Berlin Wall. And the reason is, it was a paradigm shift. It was like a change in history. And it's always something I've seen since I was a child. It happened like a few years after I was born. And I've always seen as a young child and growing up images of the Berlin Wall coming down and the events surrounding that. And I guess it's just interesting to me. I would like to be there for the actual like moment that happened.
Like freedom, isn't it? Freedom, like the world getting a better place. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next question, Robin. Let's do it. I like your moves. Good.
Okay.
Next question is, what do you miss the most of your childhood and why?
I miss very specifically when I was a kid. I would go over my grandmother used to work nights, and I would sleep over her house on Friday nights because Friday was her night off, and then Saturday was also a morning that she had off. And so I would spend that night with her, and then in the morning we would wake up and eat pancakes and watch TV, or sometimes Christmas movies. It didn't really matter what time of the year it was. She really loved Christmas movies. So that's one thing I really miss, is those Friday nights from when I was a child.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you've always been close to your grandmother?
Yeah. I mean, it's been kind of tough lately. She's in her mid 80s, so I can't really go see her because of COVID. I only just got my second vaccination. I think she's gotten her first vaccination. So, we're close to being able to see each other. But yeah, it's been tough to not see my family. And it's been hard to get on Zoom because my mom works and my grandmother doesn't really know how to do Zoom. So.
And your family, they live in the same city as you as well?
No, in a different part of the state, but not too far away.
And you have siblings as well?
I do have siblings. Yeah, so my siblings live in Florida, though, and they're all much younger than me. My parents divorced, and one of my parents had 4 kids in another marriage.
Right.
And they're all significantly younger than me. I think my oldest sister is 17 years younger than I am. But they're all we have a good relationship when I'm able to go down and see them. It is hard to find time, but yeah, it's fun to be around them. I love them.
Very good. Another question for you, Robin. Right, just before the next question, do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube channel. I do. I'm a podcaster with a group of 2 other people from the Philippines who about this one show from Thailand called Together the Series. So we do have some videos up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel called Together Podcast. And it's basically, we deep dive different episodes of Together the Series and Still Together the Series. It's actually a show in a genre called BL, which is boys love. It's just about men loving each other. So yeah, so that's, I guess I'm on YouTube that way.
All right, cool. And what's the idea? What was the idea? What was the inspiration of the idea of the podcast?
Well, actually, I didn't start the podcast. I joined it later on.
Okay.
What happened was I needed something to do during the pandemic, and my boyfriend and I talk every day. So he recommended this show to me, and I watched it, and then I kind of got addicted to it. And then he recommended other kind of shows in the same genre, and this was like the middle of last year, maybe July or August. And then I finished the show and the bonus episodes of the show, and I was like, what do? I want more. And so I searched for a podcast about the show because I thought I love podcasts. I love listening to podcasts. And so then I searched for the podcast and I found it, and then they invited people to join on like the 5th episode. They were like, hey, we want some guests, and I was like, I want to do that. And then I guested on the show. They invited me back, and they kept on inviting me back, and then eventually we just kind of became co-hosts. And since then we started 2 new shows. So we have episodes about the 2 main actors now of the show Together the Series. We actually follow other projects that they're doing. We report on things like that. And also I have a show about the wider Thai BL genre, where I talk about different series with different guests. So yeah, so I mean, the idea behind the show is just to, appreciate Thai BL and all the things it can do.
Very good. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, next question for you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Okay. In 5 years' time, I would like to be, I don't know, wherever my boyfriend. So the plan is that my boyfriend's going to move to the U.S. And we're going to live together and just have like a normal life together, an ordinary life together. Although that's kind of like more towards what he wants to do. I also want to go on lots of vacations and travel a lot, and so hopefully in between now and then I can make a lot of money. But
good. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So yeah, I'm trying to still figure out how to do that, but it'll happen.
For sure, for sure. It will come the right time. That's what I believe.
Absolutely.
Okay. Another question for you, Robin. Let's do it. Next question for you. What is something you wish you could do every single day?
Something I wish I could do every single day, I guess would be to walk outside in like a beautiful, warm, green paradise. Because Massachusetts is nice this time of year, although there's a lot of rain right now, which I'm sure like living in the UK, you understand. But
very well, I understand very well.
Yeah. But outside, right, in the winter, it gets very cold. Not as much snow as we used to get, and I live by the ocean, which keeps it a little more mild. But still, I would like to, be able to walk on the beach and not get pelted by the wind all the time and rain, and just to enjoy, some waves and still weather and still water and yeah. So I just want to walk around in like a beautiful paradise, I guess.
How far are you from Cape Cod?
Cape Cod, not too far. Actually, my city is located pretty close to Cape Cod. But again, like so in the summer, it's very beautiful most of the time. But Cape Cod is actually a very busy place to get to. In the summer, it can take like 3 hours to get down to the end of Cape Cod. So because of all the traffic, all the people come.
2 years ago, I was in Boston. And I visited Cape Cod. So we drove from, actually my best friend lives in Montreal in Canada. So we drove from Montreal all the way to Boston, and after we went to Cape Cod, and actually we went to visit this city. Actually is the gayest city I ever been in my life.
Provincetown?
Yes, Provincetown.
Yeah.
God, and it's
a great town.
Yeah, it's funny because I was with a friend of mine. He's English, and he was in New York, so we met in Montreal, and I never heard before about this city, and he's either. So one of his friends told him about, how are you going to Boston? Why don't you go to Provincetown? It's a very gay place. He said, oh, why not? So we went there. We spent 2 nights there. It's nice. It's very relaxed. I mean, relaxed in a way, but it's very live, full of people.
Oh, yeah.
It's the gayest place I've ever been in my life. I never forget.
Yeah,
there. And we explored a little bit as well the Cape Cod. So we were was driving around as well. And that was a good experience, that's for sure.
Cool. Really fun.
Next question for you, Robin. Let's do it. Right, just before the next question, as you said that your boyfriend is from China, can you speak Chinese?
No, but I'm trying to learn. Yeah.
And how is being the journey of learning? It's hard.
Well, if I were more diligent, it would probably be better. But it is difficult for me to pronounce things. I'm pretty sure I don't say a lot of things correctly, and I don't know very many words. I don't even have like the vocabulary of a 1-year-old. So it's kind of rough. But hopefully, with sustained effort, I'll be able to break through that.
That's for sure. Next question for you is, what do you like the most about yourself?
I think I really love that I'm able to, well, I love to write. So I love to write poetry. I love to write just freestyle, whatever comes to my mind. And the reason I like to do that is that I guess I see a lot of meaning behind things. I see a lot of feelings behind things. Like when I watch a movie or a show, like I can see the metaphors. Sometimes I can see where the plot is going, and I really love the deep feeling of significance I get from being able to do that. I don't know really how to describe it. It's like I'm just very grateful for my life, I guess, and I'm really grateful for being able to experience things. So I guess that's not something necessarily special about me, but you know, that's what I got.
Understand. You just you know who you are, and you are grateful for your ability to be grateful what you are. That's I understand your point. That's for sure. Another question. Ready? Right. Next question for you is, what your parents did or do that comforts you the most?
Well, I remember that when I was a child, I would get upset, and my mother would just lie in bed with me and tell me stories, and she would just make them up. She could just keep on going for hours, just telling me stories until I felt better about whatever it was I was upset about. Sometimes I would stub my toe and I would cry, and then that would just lead to me being generally upset. She would just tell the story, and there were even recurring characters about. I wish I remembered their names, but there were recurring characters that she always told me about. Oh, like a scarecrow and a dog, I think. And they were friends, and she would always tell me repeated serialized stories about them, and it was very comforting to me as a child. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very sweet. Right, I have 3 questions left for you. Ready? Let's do it. Hey, Robin, just before the next question, did you always have the support of your family being gay?
Yeah. I mean, once they found out. The thing is, when I was young, my family wasn't particularly religious. They were Catholic in background too, but I sucked in a lot of like negativity about being gay just from hearing about the Catholic perspective on homosexuality and just the general social idea. Being gay was not acceptable. It wasn't right. There's something wrong with you. And I was a very sensitive child, so I had a feeling that I was wrong. And then something happened where my family found out that I was gay. And once that happened, they told me it's okay. Like you're okay. Everything's fine. You know, there was a little bit of a misunderstanding, like typical things that you know, misconceptions that people have. That my family, you know, kind of perpetrated, but they for the most part loved and accepted me for who I was, and they were just concerned that that I was going to be hurt. But yeah, I mean, I've had the support of my family. Yeah,
I think Yep. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
It's been a deeper struggle to actually get rid of that sense of shame and that sense of something being wrong with me. For me, because I had a lot of internalized homophobia for whatever reason, and it took me years, well into my early 20s, to actually feel comfortable being out and proud. Like I always would tell everybody, I was always out, but it just never felt totally right to me, or I felt like somehow people didn't like me or something was wrong with me. And I think that had a lot to do with being gay and also a lot to do with anxiety. So both of those two things kind of went hand in hand for a long time. So it was kind of a struggle to win over and start to love myself.
It's interesting saying that, because I remember when I was a teenager, like 11 years old or 12, I remember going to the church. I always loved being in the church. My mom thought I would be a priest in the future, because they never forced me to go. My family, they are not very religious either, but for some reason, I always loved being in the church. My mom was like, I'm sure he's going to be a priest, because I was there, I was helping the priest during the mass and everything. But I remember you saying that. I remember like as a teenager, 11, 12 years old, still a child, I think, I remember praying during the mass for not have those feelings. Can you imagine? When you don't have the support, or when you don't know things, when you can go in a direction that you think you are guilty, that's what's happening to you, why I'm different. And I remember praying during the night, or even the church, like, oh my God, I don't want to feel that, or I don't want to be like that. I even didn't know if it was wrong or not, but because I knew that a man needs to be with a girl, this kind of concept. So for me, it was something that I wasn't feeling naturally, and I couldn't understand. And I remember praying about it. Not even I was feeling guilt or anything. I couldn't understand. And the way I was praying, just to try to understand why I was like that. And I was feeling, as you said, I was feeling wrongly, or I don't know what was going on at the time.
Yeah, that resonates a lot with me. I think what that brings to my mind is, like, when you're a child, right? You're told all kinds of stories about what's going to happen as you get older. And you're told that you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college, you're going to grow up, you're going to marry a woman, live in a house, have children, and that your parents are going to be grandparents, and everybody's going to have a great time. And that's not only does your family tell you that, but and it's not their fault, because they were told that as children.
The society.
But all of the society, commercials, school, everything tells you that that's the way you're going to be, and you feel that immense pressure from society that you're going to be a certain way, and it can be overwhelming, and so the shame and guilt can be that you're letting everybody down. It can feel like that.
Absolutely, I agree. Next question for you is, what makes you laugh out loud?
All right. So I like videos of animals doing silly things. It always makes me laugh out, like dogs or cats being scared, or just being cute or whatever. Even just being cute, I will just start laughing. I love those. Yeah.
Do you have any pets?
I don't, but I grew up with animals, and I don't right now, because I don't really have time. But in the future, I would like to have a dog or a cat.
Very good. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Right, let's get another question for you. What do you like to cook the most?
Well, I don't cook much. I like to cook breakfast. I've always loved breakfast food. I don't know exactly why. Probably number one, it's the easiest thing to cook. So I'll eat breakfast if I'm hungry in the middle of the night, I'll get up and cook some breakfast. But also it's the first meal of the day. And the beginning of the day is, full of hope, full of what you want to do, and full of possibility. And I think, so breakfast for me is like, I'm getting ready. So I love to cook breakfast. It's just there's a certain feeling to it.
And what do you like to eat the most for breakfast?
Well, I like a little bit of everything. That's why I guess specifically, I like to eat like something savory, like an omelet or sausages or something like that. But I also like something sweet, like pancakes and whatever. I don't usually eat that kind of heavy breakfast food anymore, but that's what I would traditionally like over the past few years. What I'd eat when I wake up. So. Yeah, so I like to cook that kind of thing. I'm trying to be more health conscious now, but yeah.
Right, Robin, ready for the last question?
Yes.
Let's do it. Where is your magic box? I'm joking, I'm teasing you.
You're the man with the magic box.
Yeah, good answer.
I can't do what you do.
Good answer, good answer. Right, last question is, which movie had a big influence on you?
The one that comes to mind is it's actually a British movie called and it's not very well known, I think, called A Beautiful Thing.
I know. Yes, I think it's quite popular. No, I think it's quite popular.
Was it? Okay. When I was young, well, there's a movie that's similar called A Beautiful Life, and that's not the one. There's with a similar name, but it's a movie about two young gay men, just realizing that they're gay and falling in love with each other, and it was always just a beautiful film to me. When I was a teenager and feeling those feelings of negativity towards myself, it gave me hope, and it gave me something to aspire to, and it made me feel like everything's okay. And it wasn't just the fact that you know they're gay or something like that, but it was the fact that life is beautiful. There was a character in it who listens to Mama Cass, and it was just a very colorful movie, and it made me want to see more of the world, and just so that had a big influence on me at a pivotal point in my life. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, Robin, it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the quick thinking game. So I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with politics.
Biden.
Love.
Hate.
Money.
Please.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Happy.
Sex.
Woo!
Religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fear.
Darkness.
Friendship.
Walking.
Desire.
More.
Regrets.
None, please.
Success.
Yes, please.
Wish.
Possibility.
Happiness.
Joy.
And if I tell you Buddhism.
Calm.
And the last one now, Massachusetts.
Cold.
It can be cold. Right, let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely boyfriend in China, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Robin and tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think your boyfriend will tell me?
Probably my eyes.
Beautiful. And what do you need to improve on in his opinion?
Probably just being more mature. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right, let's play now. Robin and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question, okay? Okay, Robin, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. So what is the experience that you've had that has taught you the most about life?
Wow, I love the question. I love the question. Okay, you put me in the spot now, yeah? So now it's my turn to think. So I would say, right, okay, I'm gonna tell you something that sticks to my head right now is, when I was 19 years old, I had the opportunity to live in Portugal. So I was there for 5 years before I moved to England. And I'm never gonna forget the moments when I was at the airport and my mom she came and she was there and she was with my luggage that I was living alone in the capital of my state. So she came to pick up my last stuff and she was So she came to say goodbye and was very emotional. And I remember the moments when I need to go through the, to get my flight, and I need to say goodbye to her. That moment when I thought to myself, okay, so now you are on your own. There's no plan B anymore, just plan A. So that moment for me, when I realized that, I kind of, okay, I'm 19 years old. And when I look back, I said, my God, I was only 19. When I look back, it's like, my God. But anyway, at the time, I just had this moment when you know what I mean? It's okay, there's no plan B anymore, just plan A. You need to count with yourself. Everything now is about you working hard, it's about you looking after yourself. So yeah, that's one of the moments that I said, okay, that's life. Actually was a new beginning of life as well, where I did this big step of my life, not knowing anyone in Portugal. I just was with a lovely lady who was, I call her my second mom, and she brought me to Portugal. So that's what the moment when I said, okay, there's a new life starting right now.
It's kind of like the birth of like independence for you.
Totally. Yeah, because since then, Robin, I was already living on my own for 1 year. When I finished high school, I was trying to go to university. I was living on my own, already with flatmates. But sometime the weekend, if I need something, I was going to my parents. They were there. I knew they were there, like 3 hours drive. They were there, but at the time I didn't have them anymore. They were kind of, they were the other side of the world. So there was no like, okay, if I need something, I know where to go. So that's where as you said, that was life started again for me. So that's for sure. Thanks for the question. I love the question. Beautiful.
I love to hear your response.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Right, Rob, did you have a good time?
I did. Yeah, it was really fun.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time or the day off to share this interview with me. And before you go, if you don't mind to share a positive quote or a positive message, something that inspires you in life.
Absolutely. I'll share a quote by my Buddhist teacher. It's, "You will pass through storms and heavy rains, and at times you will suffer defeat. The essence of the creative life, however, is not to give up in the face of defeat, but to follow the rainbow that exists within your heart."
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I totally believe. As we were talking before, through life, we're gonna go through so much up and downs, beautiful and some dark places as well. But in the end of the day, when you look back, we understand in the future why we went through those moments in life. We understand in the future, that's for sure. And what makes life interesting. Absolutely. Rob, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. I hope the world gets back to normal again, so you can go all the way to see your boyfriend, other side of the world. I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure. It was a pleasure. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye. Did you have a nice time? Did you enjoy the interview? William and the Magic Box. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, William and the Magic Box. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, just visit our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com. Give a like, share the video, and see you tomorrow with another lovely interview. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.